Hello dear students, welcome once again in our video series of Redox reacts. That is the 8th chapter of standard 11. This is our second video of Redox reactions. In previous video, it was the first video, we have discussed about the definitions of oxidation as well as reduction. There are so many definitions and all definitions we have already discussed and learned. We have also seen some examples, some reactions to identify which substance is having oxidation and which substance is having reduction. Now, in this video, we are going to solve two problems which are given in our NCERT textbook, and we will also learn two more definitions of oxidizing agent as well as reducing agent. So, take your note and pen with you and let us see. This is the problem number 8.1, which is given in our NCERT textbook. In the reactions given below, identify the species undergoing oxidation and reduction. So here we have three different reactions and we are asked to identify which substance is having oxidation and which is having reduction. Okay, so we will apply all the concepts which we have learned so far. Now let us see. H2S is reacting with Cl. H2S reacting with Cl. That means here chlorine, which is an electronegative species. Chlorine, bromine, iodine are non-metals. They are electronegative species. Chlorine is reacting with H2S to give us HCl. That means here chlorine attached with hydrogen to give us HCl. So in that condition, we can say that this substance is reacting with electronegative species. And when electronegative species comes, then the substance is having oxidation. So oxidation of H2S is occurring in this reaction. Why? Because here chlorine is going to be attached with H2S, and as chlorine is an electronegative species, when electronegative species comes, then oxidation is occurring. In other words, we can also say that here in H2S, sulfur is attached with hydrogen, but when you see the product, hydrogen is removed from sulfur. Now this is sulfur alone. So removal of hydrogen is also called oxidation. So this substance is oxidized because hydrogen is attached with more electronegative element, chlorine, to give us HCl. In that sense, this substance is having oxidation, and sulfur, which was attached with hydrogen is removed and we have sulfur alone. That means removal of hydrogen is also seen in this substance, which indicates oxidation. So this substance is having oxidation. Now if one substance is having oxidation, then definitely the other substance will have reduction. Let us see. Chlorine is attached with hydrogen to give us HCl. That means hydrogen is attached with chlorine in this product. And if hydrogen is attached, then the substance is said to have a reduction. So this chlorine is having a reduction because hydrogen comes and attaches with chlorine to give us HCl. So H2S का ऑक्सीडेशन हो रहा है यहाँ पर और क्लोरीन का रिडक्शन हो रहा। हमने सिर्फ अपनी डेफिनेशंस को ही अप्लाई किया। इट इज नॉट नेसेसरी फॉर यू टू रिमेंबर डेफिनेशन ओनली। द mugging up definition will not help you to solve such kind of problems. You must have the total concept in your mind about all the definitions, and you have to apply these definitions in these kind of reactions. Then only you will reach to the correct answer. Okay, so this is the first reaction in which H2S is oxidized and chlorine is reduced. Okay, now let us see the second reaction. Here a substance Fe3O4 is reacting with aluminium to give us Fe and Al2O3. It is very simple. Oxygen are attached with iron, but here in the product, iron is alone now. That means oxygens are removed from Fe3. And removal of oxidation is known as reduction. So here, reduction of Fe3O4 is occurring in this reaction. And if this substance is having reduction, then definitely this will have oxidation. Let us check. Aluminium was alone over here, but now in product it is attached with oxygen. So combining of oxygen is known as oxidation. So aluminium is having oxidation. So Fe3O4 is reduced and aluminium is oxidized. Now one more thing, this reaction is known as thermite reaction. This is the welding process. Have you seen any time when welding is done? In welding process, the rod which was used as welding rod contains the powder of Fe3O4 and aluminium. When both these reactants react with each other, they produce very high temperature, and at that high temperature, iron is produced in liquid form. That iron joins the two different portions of iron. Therefore, this process is known as thermite reaction, which is a welding process. Okay, now let us see the third and last reaction. 2Na plus H2 gives 2NaH. Now, this is very important reaction. As we know that when hydrogen attaches, then the substance is said to have a reduction. Here hydrogen is attaching with sodium. So hydrogen if attached with sodium, then we have to say that sodium is having reduction. But it is not correct in this case. Why? Because when we have sodium and hydrogen, that means sodium is metal, hydrogen is having a disputed place in periodic table. Third chapter. So hydrogen can act as electronegative as well as electropositive element. But when hydrogen comes to react with any metal, then hydrogen is considered always as electronegative species. When hydrogen comes to react with any metal, then hydrogen is always considered as electronegative species. So being an electronegative species, this hydrogen is attaching with sodium. So the attachment of electronegative species is known as oxidation. So this sodium is having oxidation because this sodium is attaches with hydrogen, and hydrogen is an electronegative species to give us NaH. Therefore, sodium is having oxidation, and in the second case, sodium is removing its electron to become Na plus, and the electron which was donated by sodium is accepted by hydrogen to become H max. Therefore, sodium is having oxidation, and hydrogen which is accepting the electron, or we can say that this hydrogen is attaching with electropositive species which is sodium. Therefore, this hydrogen is having reduction. So આ થોડી અલગ વિશેષ પ્રક્રિયા છે, અને ખાસ ધ્યાનમાં રાખવું. આમાં બાળકો ભૂલ કરી બેસે છે કે હાઇડ્રોજન જોડાણો ને એટલે રિડક્શન જ હશે. But it is not like that. We have to apply the concepts carefully. ખાલી હાઇડ્રોજન ને ઓક્સિજન ને આધારે ઓક્સિડેશન ને રિડક્શન ને સમજવું એ હાઈસ્કૂલ વાળા બાળકોનું કામ છે. Now we are in 11th science. So the definition of electronegative species attach થાય કે નથી થતી એના આધારે ઓક્સિડેશન રિડક્શન કહેવાનું, or ઇલેક્ટ્રોન ટ્રાન્સફર ને આધારે પણ ઓક્સિડેશન રિડક્શન નથી કહેવાનું. સારું, તો વિડિયો પોઝ કરી તમે લખી લો, પછી આપણે આગળ બીજું Okay. Now example 8.2. But before learning the example 8.2, let us learn two more words that is oxidizing agent and reducing agent. Oxidizing agent and reducing agent. Oxidizing agent means the substance which oxidizes the other substance. Let us take an example. H2 plus water gives H2O. Now here, hydrogen is reacting with oxygen to give H2O. That means hydrogen is oxidized. Hydrogen is oxidized, but hydrogen is oxidized by oxygen. So oxygen is the substance which oxidizes the hydrogen. So the substance which oxidizes the other substance is said to be oxidizing agent. So here oxygen which oxidizes hydrogen, therefore this oxygen is said to be oxidizing agent. And one more thing, if oxygen is oxidizing agent, and if we see the complete reaction, we can also call it oxygen is reduced because it is attached with hydrogen. So it is having reduction. So one more thing, oxidizing agent is always having reduction. So second point is oxidizing agent is always having reduction. જે ઓક્સિડાઇઝિંગ એજન્ટ હોય એનું રિડક્શન જ થતું હોય. એટલે તમારે કોઈ સબસ્ટન્સ ઓક્સિડાઇઝિંગ એજન્ટ છે કે નહીં એ ચેક કરવું હોય, તમારે ખાલી એ જોવાનું રિડક્શન કોનું થાય છે. The substance which is having a reduction is considered as oxidizing agent. The substance which is having a reduction is considered as oxidizing agent, or you can call it the species. Oxidizing agent is a species which accepts electron. જે સ્પીસી ઇલેક્ટ્રોન એક્સેપ્ટ કરે એનું રિડક્શન થાય, અને જેનું રિડક્શન થાય it is known as oxidizing agent. Now same thing can be applied in case of reducing agent also. લખતો નથી, આની જેમ બોલી દઉં છું. The substance which reduces the other substance is known as reducing agent. The substance which reduces the other species or substance is known as reducing agent. Now look at this reaction. Here, oxygen is attaching with hydrogen, therefore oxygen is reduced, but oxygen is reduced by hydrogen. So hydrogen is considered as reducing agent in this reaction, and the reducing agent is always having oxidation. Oxidizing agent is always having reduction, and we can write here also a reducing agent is always having oxidation. લખવાનું છે તમારી જાતે. હું લખીશ તો સમય વધુ લાગશે, વિડિયો આપણો વધારે મોટો થશે, એવું નથી થવા દેવું, એટલે હું ખાલી બોલી દઉં છું, તમારે નોટમાં લખવાનું છે. So oxidizing agent is always having reduction, reducing agent is always having oxidation. અને આની જેમ લખવું હોય તો reducing agent is a species which donates electron. Reducing agent is a species which donates electron. So these are the definitions of oxidizing agent as well as reducing agent. અને હવે કન્સેપ્ટ તો પેલો જ છે, ઓક્સિડેશન અને રિડક્શન કોનું થાય છે ઓળખી જાવ એટલે તમને ઓક્સિડાઇઝિંગ એજન્ટ અને રિડ્યુસિંગ એજન્ટ કોણ છે ખબર પડી જાય. જેનું ઓક્સિડેશન થાય છે એ રિડ્યુસિંગ એજન્ટ છે, જેનું રિડક્શન થાય છે એ ઓક્સિડાઇઝિંગ એજન્ટ છે. એટલું સિમ્પલ છે. ઓક્સિડાઇઝિંગ એજન્ટ નું હંમેશા રિડક્શન જ થાય, રિડ્યુસિંગ એજન્ટ નું હંમેશા ઓક્સિડેશન. સારું, એટલું લખી લ્યો, પછી આપણે પ્રોબ્લેમ સોલ્વ કરીએ 8.2. Now let us solve the problem 8.2, which is given in our NCERT textbook. It is also a solved problem. Problem 8.2. The statement is justify that the reaction 2Na plus H2 gives 2NaH is a redox change. So we have already discussed about this reaction in our previous problem. But still, let us solve it one more time. 2Na plus H2 gives 2NaH. Now here, hydrogen is more electronegative than sodium. Therefore, here, hydrogen combines with sodium. Therefore, we can say that sodium is having oxidation and sodium is attached with hydrogen. Therefore, H2 is having reduction. So sodium is having oxidation and hydrogen is having reduction. And as here, oxidation and reduction both half reaction are occurred. Therefore, the above reaction is considered as a redox change. That's all. This is the answer. Okay. Now, if I say which substance is oxidizing agent over here, so the substance which we have reduced is considered as oxidizing agent. So which substance is having reduction? Hydrogen. Hydrogen is having reduction. Therefore, hydrogen is our oxidizing agent, and sodium is reducing the hydrogen. Therefore, sodium is our reducing agent. The substance which is having oxidation is considered as reducing agent, and the substance which is having reduction is considered as oxidizing agent. તો આ લાસ્ટ લેક્ચરમાં પણ મેં કીધું હતું કે તમે જેટલા ઇક્વેશન આની પહેલા ભણ્યા છો એ બધાને એક વખત ચેક કરતા શીખો જેથી આપણને પ્રેક્ટિસ થાય. હું બોલું છું એવું કરશો તો રેડોક્સ રિએક્શન તમારા માટે એકદમ ઈઝી બનશે બાળકો. ખાલી આ ભણાવું છું એટલું જ નોટમાં લખી લેવાથી આપણને નહીં આવે. જેમ નાના હતા ત્યારે લો ચુંબક હાથમાં આવ્યું એટલે બધી જગ્યાએ અડાડીને ચેક કરતા હતા મેગ્નેટને કઈ વસ્તુ આમાં ચોટે છે કઈ નથી ચોટતી. એવી જ રીતના આપણને ઓક્સિડેશન રિડક્શન કન્સેપ્ટ સમજાણા હોય તો આપણે જેટલી રિએક્શન્સ જોઈએ બધાને એ કન્સેપ્ટ લાગુ પાડીને ચેક કરવાનો કે આપણે ડિસાઈડ કરી શકીએ છીએ કે નહીં. સારું, તો આ પ્રેક્ટિસ તમારી ચાલુ રાખજો તો જ આપણને આ સમજવામાં વધુ મજા આવશે. So that's all for today's video. In our next video, we will learn some more concepts. If you like the video, then press the like button, and if you are new, then subscribe our channel, press the bell icon as well. We'll meet next time. Till next time.